So hey guys, so I want to introduce you to one of my students here, Mark Power. And Mark, he is awesome. He's been through our program. Actually, he's going through our program right now, and he's been getting some amazing results within his coaching and consultant business. So I wanted to share those results with you, or really, I wanted to have him share his results with you as far as going through our program and where he started off and where he's currently at within this business. So, Mark, tell us a bit your backstory. What do you do? How do you help your clients?
I have a private practice in speech pathology, and the only people I see are people who stutter.
Hmm.
And not many therapists do that around the country. The way I got into it actually was because I was a severe stutterer myself for the first 30 years of my life, all the way through college and my first job.
Hmm.
And I didn't have any treatment until I was 30 years old, and I discovered a treatment that had been developed. It was an intensive therapy program, and it had just been developed. Before that, there was nothing available for me. So I went through it, did very well, became stutter-free after a year. And after that, I decided to start a private practice and see if I could help other people with the same program. And I've been doing that for the past 20 years.
That is awesome. So ultimately, you had the problem of stuttering yourself, and you kind
Yeah.
of went through, solved that problem for yourself, and now you kind of came back and started helping your community, others who stutter. You help them overcome that same issue.
Exactly. That's what I do.
Hmm.
And the hard part of that is not seeing the clients, but having them find where I am and hooking up with, showing them that there's therapy available. They're all over the place. Only 1% of the population stutters, so that's 1 out of 100, and they're in all different areas. So I couldn't figure out how to market to them at all.
Hmm. So yeah, and I guess that kind of starts our relationship, right? So how did you kind of hear about my program, and how did you come in contact with our material?
It's really hard to say one exact way, because I think once I think it was on Facebook, and all of a sudden Extus was all over the place. And but what I did was I started reading or watching some of the videos, and I was just really convinced that you had something that was very valuable. And I ended up contacting you, and we ended up working together, and I'm very happy we did.
Hmm. Now, in your journey, because I know that when it comes to hiring someone and working with someone and joining a program, there's typically some pain that causes you to take some action to say, okay, let me go do this thing because I want to solve this problem. So what problem would you say you were having that made you say, okay, I got to reach out to Extus's team and really join this program? What was that problem for you?
Yeah, for maybe 20 years, I had been trying to have my private practice survive with just seeing people who stutter. And that was hard if I didn't have enough patients. And I really didn't. I was just barely making it every month. And I had to struggle. And I was doing about twice as much work trying to get people to know that I was available than actually treating them in stuttering therapy. Uh, I was about to give up. I had gone back to work in public schools as a speech therapist several times, and I was just about to do that again because my dream of the private practice just wasn't happening.
Hmm. So ultimately, what you wanted was to, because you knew you were good at what you do, which is helping people overcome stuttering. But the challenge was just finding those individuals, right? It was so challenging because, as you said, just 1% of the population stutters. So they're
Yeah,
like, how do you attract them? And how do you really build a sustainable business from that?
yeah.
And because it really wasn't working as well as you'd expected, you said you had to go back to teaching, you said?
Yeah, right. Not teaching, but being a speech therapist in the public schools. And
Oh,
that's where most speech therapists are. They
okay.
go to an elementary school or a high school, and they see the kids who have speech and language problems. And
Hmm.
that's great to do that, but that's not my dream. That's not what I really wanted to accomplish. And I was getting very discouraged that I would have to go back full time to be a public school speech therapist.
Hmm. Okay, perfect. Now, when you first joined, so that's ultimately so the reason you joined was, okay, how do I get more consistency with getting clients and really sign up more patients? Because for you, it wasn't that you weren't good at what you do. When you had a patient, you know exactly what to do to get them results, but it was just how do you get them consistently in the first place, right?
As a matter of fact, when they finally did get in touch with me, they were overjoyed that they found a program that I have, and everybody has been just their lives have been changed, and they've been very grateful that they found me. The problem is, it was really hard to find me, and that they would tell me that just a few people would find me. My marketing was not reaching them.
hmm Okay, perfect. And once you joined our program and we started kind of working together, helping you out, describe your experience. What was your experience with that process?
Well, looking back on it now, I can really see that it wasn't any one thing or one technique. It was everything together in a system. And the system was very well oiled and worked very well. It took me some days and weeks to put together my own system that would work with your expertise and sharing a lot of your information. But once that was established, things blew up, and I started to get phone calls and appointments and people that wanted to schedule. As a matter of fact, now I'm thinking of putting people on a waiting list.
hmm Awesome, love it. So, in terms of how many calls were you getting before versus how many are you getting now in terms of business wise?
Literally, maybe one or two a week.
hmm
Now I'm getting four or five a day.
hmm That is brilliant, brilliant. And I know we talked right before the this call because we've been in touch via Facebook Messenger and through email,
Yeah.
and you've been sending me your updates as far as the number of clients you're enrolling, and in terms of the calendar, how booked you are. So in terms of where you are right now, how forwardly booked are you?
I'm booked for the next 2 months solid. As a
Mhm.
matter of fact, I don't have any time off at all, Extus.
That's always a good problem to have. I know one of my clients, Sean, he was the same thing as well too. Because when he came in, he didn't have any clients, pretty struggling quite a bit. And then once he came in, he got so many one-on-one clients, pretty excited. But then he's like, I don't have any time, man.
Hi.
So it was great at first, but now it became kind of like, there's too many clients, too much stuff. But in terms of that's definitely what I see. So what are you seeing as far as the next phase for you? Because right now, as you said, you're booked for the next couple of months solid, and you're still getting appointments, right? So people are still scheduling, and you're still scheduling more into the future, right? So I'm pretty positive that next 3, 4, 5 months, as long as you keep doing this, running the system, that'll just keep filling up, right?
This is going to happen every month. It's very obvious that something needed to be done.
Mm-hmm.
And with your help, I looked at the next level that you have done, which is having clients enroll in a sort of a large group, and they complete the stuttering uh, process of treatment on their own. And there's actually an app that helps them do that. And they're all over the place at different times, starting at different times and different paces. But that's great because they can fit it into their schedules and complete it with a lot of motivation. And that's the way I'm going to do it. So I won't have a need to see a client for 2 hours every day for 5 days. They'll be out there doing the work, and I'll be supervising it, and their progress will be uh, really good because it's kind of like putting them in charge of their own treatment.
Mm-hmm. And so you said you went from, in terms of calls wise, so you said you went from like 1 to 2 calls per week to like 4 to 5 calls per day, right? Is that right?
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Now, what about the conversion rate? Because I know that most people are like, well, that's not a lot of calls. Because some people, they get a lot of calls, but then they have a really low conversion rate. So in terms of these 4 or 5 per day that's scheduled with you, what does that conversion in terms of them actually becoming a paying
Yeah.
client with you? What does that?
Well, first, let me tell you about the calls. The way we set it up is these aren't just people calling out of the blue. They have gone through my marketing funnel and they've been educated and they've been qualified and they're ready to sign up. So when they do call, the conversion is quite good. I would say because it's only been a month or two that I've had this amazing explosion. Uh, I would say the conversion is about a third of the people that I get to talk to. Because as I said before, this is an answer that they've been looking for their whole lives. And when I tell them how this program works and that people can be successful, they're very willing to do it.
Mm-hmm. That is so awesome. So, and to share Mark's story, because again, as you notice, and that's one of the things we specialize in, it's two things really. The first is helping coaches, consultants, any type of expert. If you have an expertise, if you're good at something and you're just trying to figure out what to do to get consistent clients, that's one of the problems we solve. And the second shift, and as you can see, that's kind of where Mark is right now. So we've kind of got the client attraction side, which is now he's getting consistent clients and he's making a consistent monthly income. I'm not sure if you mind sharing or whatever, but if you don't, that's totally fine as well too. But he's making now consistent monthly income, but not just that, because I know Mark, you sent me your the numbers, and I'm seeing how your income is each week it's increasing. So that's good. So that's the first part we help.
It's doubled and tripled over the past month.
Love it. Yeah, so he's making a lot more money right now, and but the second thing is again he's still working with clients like patients right now, but we're gonna shift him over to more of a group coaching model, to where now he could work with a whole bunch of clients. He could still take on the same clients, still charge the same tuition and stuff like that, but it's more based on working with them in a group, so that way he could take on as many clients as he wants, and he doesn't have to trade more time. It's based on only a couple of hours per week versus now where he's having to work with patient after patient after patient individually, right?
Yeah, I think the big advantage for me is my dream was always to help people who stutter. Mm-hmm. Now I can see hundreds of them and move them through the steps of the program, and people all over the world. I've had people from Zurich and Australia and China and South America. All these people find out about me now through my marketing. And I talked to them on Skype, and I just talked to a guy from Riyadh this morning from Saudi Arabia, and he's ready to sign up next week.
Mm-hmm. Love it, Mark. Well, I appreciate you sharing your story, because again, it's pretty exciting. And I know that this right here, what we've the level we've got to here, that's not even the tip of the iceberg yet. There's so much more. I'm pretty excited about sharing with you and helping you build throughout the program and stuff. So I'm really excited. So I guess what would you say to anyone who's considering maybe they're on the fence, or they're like, well, I'm not sure if Extus and his team and his program could help me. Like, what would you say to those individuals?
You know, I would tell them the truth. And I would say that even though I saw your videos and read your materials, and even though I talked to you, mm-hmm. and we started this program, I always thought it was too good to be true. I really did. What happened to me is really too good to be true, but it is true. And my whole attitude has totally changed to maybe this will work. I don't know, but let's give it a try. So now, boy, I'm just off to the races, and I'm just going to go along for the ride with Extus.
Definitely. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it so much. And thank you so much. I know you're a pretty busy guy right now. Again, you have so many patients, so much going on, but I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this short interview with me here. Really appreciate it. And I guess before we sign off, do you have anything else to add, or is that it?
Well, I just want to thank you, Extus, because this would not have happened without your expertise and your personal caring about my dream and my efforts, and just walking me through this. And now we can both enjoy it. I appreciate it.
Love it. Thank you so much.